What's up, YouTube? I don't know where I'm headed. I'm with my man, Matt.
What's up?
Whipping over to Rutgers right now. Not really sure what we're getting into, but on the adventure, on the rise.
And I'd like to continue on right now with another beautiful song.
Is Adobe, you can use Adobe for Windows?
Yeah. Yeah, you can do it. I'll see if I can get you a cracked version. Just don't tell anyone.
Oh, like... Squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. Wise is probably a bit confusing, so I hung around with Matt. We went to New Brunswick. I'm trying to make this into more of a storyline and make it make more sense, but I'm just trying to bring this around and stay consistent. That's my main goal. I'm going to finish this in Montclair because I have a little bit of an idea of what I want to talk about, but just getting out, doing shit that's active on Saturdays, staying with the flow is really the main focus. And for just thinking about in the future, next week's gonna be kind of weird because I'm gonna be in Orlando for most of the week, but I'll check in with you in a little bit. But continuity wise, went to New Brunswick, we went to the mall in Edison, so there's all in New Jersey, hung out with some people from, and now I'm about to hang out with somebody from back that I went to high school with, and I was just hanging out, walking around, chilling out beforehand. But I'll catch you in a little bit. So I got to my friend's house. He actually has to leave for a while, so he's left me here with his dog. What's up, cutie? She seems really like wondering about this camera. So not gonna lie, this dog seems super terrified now that my friend has left. So right now we're just gonna get a little acclimated. Yeah, see, when I put the camera on her, she just starts dipping. She is not fucking with the camera. And when you really think about it, I'm chilling with an animal that could, I mean, I think I could win at the end, but she would definitely fuck me up if we really were to get into a fight. But you can see, got me and the dog. She's checking me out. She is terrified of something right now. It's so weird because she was so active when he was here, and now I feel like I don't even want to put the camera. Every time I put the camera on her and she's just looking at it, she starts backing up. So I don't know, I'm trying to get her acclimated, but I feel like she's really upset. I guess they left and now she's gotten pretty tired. Nope, but see, I start putting the camera towards her, she is not fucking with it. So I'm gonna just hold up and let her get acclimated. But I'll definitely catch you guys in Montclair, but she's not really liking the camera. She sees the well, she didn't see it, but she's not really liking the camera too much. Yeah, I don't even want to keep it on her when she's drinking, so I'll let her get acclimated. But I'll definitely catch you in Montclair if I don't catch you later tonight. We're just gonna catch up. What's going on, YouTube? I'm back. I got home now. This is actually the next day, just continuity wise, so you guys can kind of follow what everything's going. But the one thing I really wanted to touch into here, I'm just gonna quickly just talk about, I guess, 3 things with it. Is first, the concept is really that about change. And change is hard, and that's something that I've just been grappling with definitely the last few months, and if I'm really going to be honest, it would be the last few years. I think I'm getting a lot more focused on it. recently in the more immediate moments. And the three things I really want to talk about with change is commitment. So in order to change, number one, you have to make a commitment. So that's like the first and foremost thing, is that you have to make a commitment. You have to be specific. You have to decide what you want to do, and the actions that it takes to change whatever you're trying to change, or become whatever you're trying to become, especially when you think about designing a lifestyle of intent. And that is really going to break down into a few things of one, the things that you are doing that you need to double down and maybe do more diligently, more disciplined. But then the big side, and this is the one that I definitely struggle with the hardest, is the things that you cannot do. The things that if you want to become that lifestyle, the kind of exercise I generally do is actually the new exercise that I found out that I've been trying to incorporate more is really just fast forwarding, maybe look 10 years in the future, and who are you in that moment? What are you doing then? And really get real clear, like, where are you? What are you wearing? What do you sound like? What is your day? What does your day entail? What are the things that you need to do that you're doing on a daily basis? Who are the people you're around? What are the type of relationships that you have? How are you interacting in those relationships? And really getting clear, like, what would a whole day, Monday through Sunday, look like for you 10 years from now? And then kind of reverse engineer, and then what actions are they doing and what actions are they not doing? And then that's where it's going to be holding accountability for yourself, and you're going to have to hold yourself accountable to doing those actions and then removing the actions that are destructive. And I would definitely say the latter is, I think that's the make or break point, because that is generally the hardest part, and that's generally the part most people do not want to confront. So that's really just number one. You have to really make the commitment, and then with that commitment you need to be specific, very clear, and break it down to what you have to do and what you have to stop doing. The second part would be about what making a commitment really is, and that is the fact that when you make a commitment, you need to make, it's going to be something that, one, you don't just make it one day and then, I'm committed to making $500K a year. You don't just say it and then it's done. This is something you're going to have to recommit every single day, and then multiple times a day. And I'm actually taking one of Brandon Carter's courses, and hope that this isn't like unscrupulous to kind of throw out there, but I know one of the lines that one of the guys was saying, he was like, with every commitment or principle is backed up by 1,000 no's. So that kind of does tie into number one, with especially the taking the things that you have to stop doing. But when you make a commitment, it's not like you do it once. There's going to be 1,000 times within the day when you have an opportunity to decide, am I going to do the action that's going to lead me down to that person that I see 10 years from now, or am I not? And it's going to be over and over again. So not only do you have to do it every day, but you're going to have to do it multiple times within a day. A big person that I definitely love, and a lot of this groundwork that I am explaining is coming from a guy I really like, Grant Cardone. You can see his Playbook to Millions behind me, and he's somebody that really introduced me to this. But it is something that you have to recommit, and every single day, multiple times a day. It's not just a one-time thing. And with that commitment, time and resources are going to have to flow with it. And that is just another, that's kind of like part 2B. Your time and resources are going to need to flow with it for it to be a real commitment. If you haven't put time and resources behind it, it's not a commitment. It's just a thought. And then the last part, and this is really the hardest part of dealing with it, would be the fact that you're going to fail, and there is going to be setbacks. In anything you do, in any endeavor, there's going to be setbacks, and that's just a reality of life. The thing that you don't want to succumb to, and all of these are kind of intertwined, but the number 3, you're going to have setbacks. So the thing you don't want to fall into is when you do have a setback, to gain what Brandon Carter in his book Rebel Rituals mentions, is gain the fuck it mentality. So, everybody has this, and it's easy to think about with a weight loss. I haven't really been on too much weight loss things, but I've definitely heard it enough to really get it. So if you're on a certain diet and you're sticking to your diet well, and then one day you eat a whole fucking pizza, and then you're like, fuck it, I messed up, so now I'm just gonna eat McDonald's for the next 3 days, and now you gained a fucking mentality because you screwed up once, and now you're kind of just giving into yourself to continue screwing up. When you mess up, you should acknowledge it. Don't beat yourself up about it, but then go back to number 2. You know, you have to recommit. And then you have to look back at number 1. What are the things I have to do? What are the things I can't do? Recommit, refocus, put more time and resources towards the commitment, and refocus, and not letting the setback get to you. And that's really why that, I think, is the hardest part of the whole thing. And for me, you know, I keep saying on this YouTube channel, it sits in my conscious. Some of the people that have reached out to me that I've met through the medium, I try to stay on top of it, but it's really just kind of like understanding, you know, I messed up. Okay, I didn't send an email response right away, or, you know, I haven't been checking my messages because I'm not used to checking that, and I just check the comments. Just talking a YouTube idea. But, you know, get back to them, shoot it out, do it. But change is hard, and that's really the whole point of this, is that change is hard. It doesn't happen overnight. And just a little story from Grant Cardone, that if you read any of his work, it's really kind of inspiring, and it really helps me a lot with this topic, is that from, I think it was about the age of 16 to 25, so for about 9 to 10 years, Grant Cardone was in a very downward spiral. He was a self-admitted like drug addict. He was doing weed and cocaine and I guess pills and other things like that, and probably drinking. And he mentioned that he was doing it in amounts that might kill certain people. And he's going through all this. And a lot of times when people know his story, they ask him this question of, what was the moment? When was the day that you made the decision to change everything? Because with his story, it kind of seems like a sudden spurt and change in mentality. And the one thing that I like that he always says, and he doesn't kind of go into the bait and give you some of that foo-foo stuff, he always says, he's like, there really wasn't a one day. Like, one day I did change everything, but that one day happened from, you know, every day for years I was waking up saying, I'm not going to do drugs anymore. I'm not going to do this anymore. And all of that added up to the end result of actually changing his situation, and now becoming somebody that's very successful, and somebody that definitely inspires me, definitely in terms of his work has become a mentor for me. But I really like that story because I definitely see that in my life, and it keeps me focused because, you know, when you do mess up, or you do, you know, you make the commitment and then you didn't make it those other times, you know, sometimes you do want to gain that fucking mentality and sit and dwell in your pity and pity yourself and feel sorry for yourself. But that's not where results come from. You know, in the general, my real view is that, I mean, the world and the universe really doesn't care about you. Most people are worried about themselves, and not in a terrible way, but I mean, you only have so much bandwidth, so you need to take care of yourself first and foremost. And I don't like denigrate anybody that has that mentality for themselves. So I just have to hold myself accountable that the commitments I make, those are my commitments. They need to be sacred to me, and I need to, 1, make the commitment, 2, I need to recommit every day and multiple times a day, and then 3, understand that failure is inevitable. I'm going to fail. There are going to be setbacks, but the biggest point is to go back to 1 and 2, find out what I need to do and what I need not to do, recommit, and start taking those actions from number 1. So I don't want to keep this too long. Thanks for watching the whole video. I know I'm pretty sure I've edited this into the vlog. I'm trying to make those a little bit better, see if I can get more of a storyline going, but I just want to keep the consistency up. That's the commitment I am constantly trying to make to myself. It's going to be 3 videos a week. That's really what I'm looking for. Next week is going to be a little bit odd, and probably most of February, because I'm actually going to be traveling. I think I have 3. I'll be in 3 different states. I'm going to be going to Florida, Arkansas, and Missouri between now and the end of February. So that might put a little hamper in it, but I mean, the future of the lifestyle that I want to be traveling, so I need to learn how to incorporate all of this and not really make excuses. And just as I'm saying, you know, understand there's going to be setbacks, recommit, and take the actions I need to do, and stop the actions I know I don't need to do. But thanks for tuning into the channel. I appreciate all your attention. Like, comment, subscribe, dislike if you didn't like it. Please just put something out there. I'd love to get your feedback. It really helps me in figuring out what I should design, where I should go next. But until next time, peace.